Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Occasionally we come across little snippets of West Ham news, just little ones, and they're not really worthy of a video on their own, but collectively they might just be that. So that's what this video is. Welcome to West Ham News Roundup. I've got a few things to get through. Normally we sort of cover this in a cup of tea, myself and Gonzo, have a little sip of our tea and go through it, but with things the way they are at the minute, but we'll get back to normal soon. But for now, let's take a little look and see what is going on at West Ham. We're starting off with today's rumour that David Moyes is set to be given a 2-year contract extension in the summer. Now that's not so much news, it's not so much anything exciting, but the bit that stood out for me is supposedly in that contract he's going to have a clause that if he finishes 13th in his second season, he will get an automatic 1-year contract extension. It seems a bit low to me. 13th just seems a little bit, I don't think it's a reflection of David Moyes. I don't think this is saying to David Moyes, we believe you're only good enough to get us 13th. This season's already proven that wrong, that was the conclusion. So I don't think it's a reflection of the manager. I think it's a reflection of the board's ambition, and that is worrying. I just think 13, bear in mind that this would be David Moyes' third season at the club, he'd expect to see steady progress. We've seen it this year. So to go from this season to 13th in 2 years' time, well, you've gone backwards, haven't you? You've gone backwards quite a bit. Now, obviously, what we wouldn't know is how well the season in the middle went. We could finish 5th and 13th. We could also go from 7th to 13th. But 13th is a bit low. And I just worry that perhaps is a reflection of how they intend to back David Moyes in the transfer market. Because if you were going to back him substantially, if you're going to give him some decent money to spend, you were going to get in some good players for him, surely you would expect higher than 13th in return. You have to. So what are the board going to be doing or giving David Moyes in order to expect 13th? Well, you'd have to expect not a lot. Not a lot is the answer. And that worries me a little bit. And I know you might say, well, 13th isn't bad. I'm aware of that. But listen, we could always put 8th as a clause and finish 13th and still be happy with Moyes as manager and give him a new deal anyway. We could still do that. But 13th is what guarantees David Moyes a contract extension. And that worries me if it's true. That it might not be true, but if it is, that just worries me a little bit, that does. It just feels lacking ambition. Is this the board's ambition? In 2 years' time, finishing 13th in the Premier League is what they consider to be a good job. Anyway, we'll wait and see what comes of that. Mark Noble was at the under-18s game. They played a couple of days ago. They won. They won 5-0, won convincingly. Meatball, the Beckel getting on the score sheet. Kai Corbett getting on the score sheet as well. It's the Youth Cup, so that's why we fielded a strong team. A lot of teams tend to field a slightly stronger under-18s than they do usually, because those best players of that age group tend to go on and play for the under-23s. But for the Youth Cup, it's not unusual to see a slightly stronger under-18s than usual. So hence why the likes of Meepo, Baptiste was involved as well. They were involved in that, convincing win. But the news is that Mark Noble was there, and X said on his podcast that is a hint to what Mark Noble perhaps intends to do at the end of next season. We know that next season is his final year as a player at West Ham United. What holds for him after that, whether it's at West Ham or a other club, we are unsure. But this seems to be the first hint, if you like, that it could be involved with under 18s as they are. We know that Mark Noble's been involved so far with the kids coaching at the club. His kid himself, he's involved with the academy at West Ham United, and he's regularly watching that age group. But it's good. I think under 18s would be a natural progression for him. I think this would be good news to see him go straight into the backroom staff at West Ham at that age group, get a bit of experience and hopefully work himself up to the under 23s and then into the first team as well. So this is just good news as far as I'm concerned. Good news. Tomas Soucek has won the Czech Republican Player of the Year. I don't think that's the last award he's going to be winning in the next few months either, but he's got that award. Runner-up was Vladimir Sufal as well, so two big awards for the Hammers over at the Czech Republican side, away on the international duty as I speak. But that's not all. The winner of the Women's Czech Republican Player of the Year is also a Hammer, and Svitkova. She plays for West Ham. I hope I pronounced that right. She's won the award as well. So West Ham with the double winners and the runner-up in the men's team as well. We're running Czech Republican football, ladies and gentlemen. Angelo Ogbonna is nearly back at training, or is back at training, but he will be back sort of in full training prior to the Wolves fixture. However, the Wolves fixture is expected to be a little bit too soon for him, and he should return for the Leicester or the Newcastle game, according to ex-West Ham employee. So that, fingers crossed, because like I said in yesterday's video, or the day before, we didn't miss him at the weekend. We're now getting to the business end of the season. You want a fully fit squad. We know Fornals is back in training. Masuaku and Yarmolenko back in training. Ogbonna's just round the corner as well. Obviously, barring any new injuries, this gives Moyes a full squad, everyone to pick from, and no excuses essentially to go on and try and get us into that European football. It's got to be the aim, isn't it? L'Equipe, the French media outlet, have rated Declan Rice as the second most valuable player in European football behind Bruno Fernandes. Now, this is not suggesting he's the second best player in European football. That's what they're saying. This is not to do with ability. This is about valuation. And I can sort of understand why, because Declan Rice is English. That bumps the price up a little bit. He plays in the Premier League. That bumps up a little bit. And he's young. And most importantly, he's decent, and he's in the England team as well. That doesn't harm him at all. So he's got a lot of factors going for him, Declan Rice. But it's just a French media outlet. That is all. It's not. This isn't an expert or anything like that. But they've named Declan Rice the second most valuable midfielder in European football, which goes hand in hand with what David Moyes was suggesting a few months ago, that it would take the Bank of England money to get him out of West Ham United, saying that he disagreed with Sullivan. Sullivan had sort of hinted he was worth 100 million. Moyes is saying he's worth more than that. He's worth more than 100 million. You want Declan Rice? You're paying big money. Now, interesting today from UEFA is that they're expected to scrap financial fair play. Now, no one's really paid too much attention to it anyway. It's not been in English football anyway. It's more for the continent, so the top four need to be wary of it when playing in the Champions League. They need to adhere to FFP regarding the Champions League. So when you're sort of not in European football, you don't have to worry about it too much. We've had short-term control costs, that's the official name of it in England, but again, you don't hear much about it because it's not really applied. But more so than ever, no one's really spending big money, so there's not much room for concern. However, because of what's been happening recently, I think this is why UEFA are taking a look at the financial fair play, and they're, I say, abolishing it. They're getting rid of it, and they might bring something else in, but what they do bring in is believed to have a lot less stricter controls, which means that clubs can spend more money, raise more money by extra means, and that'll benefit a lot of clubs there, especially West Ham in European football, or David Sullivan and David Gold's excuses are going out the window at the minute, aren't they? They're disappearing pretty quickly. But that's expected to be happening as well. No more FFP. Not that it's bothered us too much, but other clubs like Man City, it has. Anyway, that's it for the roundup. But look at this sexy mug. If you want one of these, a Hammers Chat mug, we've got them. They just arrived over the weekend. We just got them in over the weekend. There you go, that's on the back. So you've got the Hammers Chat logo on one side, Hammers Chat on the back. Based on that, possibly my favourite away kit as well. You want one of them. It's they're £10 plus posters and packaging. If you're UK mainland, posters and packaging is £3.50. Get in touch with us by email, hammerschat@gmail.com, if you wish to purchase one. We do deliver worldwide, so just tell us where you're from. We'll tell you how much it will cost, and we'll send it out to you as well upon payment. If you're a patron of ours, you've been a patron for a period that qualifies for your merchandise discount, they are £5. So basically, you're patron free this month if you want a mug. Happy days. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there. So if you enjoyed this video, the Hammers Chat News Roundup, please drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll see you then.